Guys, Matt here. This is my review of Silver Linings Playbook. This movie is directed by David O. Russell, who previously directed The Fighter, and this movie stars Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, with Robert De Niro and Chris Tucker. Now, I'm going to start off by saying I'm sorry this review is so late. This movie originally came out in December, but my theater didn't get it until January, and so this is a movie that I put off to the side. I wasn't in a big hurry to see it. Well, after finally seeing it, I'm kicking myself because I enjoyed this movie, and I'm glad I saw it. The plot of this movie is Bradley Cooper plays Pat, a man who was just released from a mental institution after, during a fit of rage, he beat up the guy that his wife was having an affair with. And so in order to start his road to recovery and trying to fit back into society, he moves back in with his parents. There he reconnects with his friends and tries to reconnect with his family. And then he meets a stranger by the name of Tiffany, played by Jennifer Lawrence. And she comes off crazy to him, he comes off crazy to her. But it's because they both have issues that they try to not only deal with, but also work through these issues. And soon enough, they hit it off. And this movie was dramatic, but it was also really funny at times. And as a result, we got an unexpected love story. Start off with the acting. Besides Robert De Niro, pretty much all of the actors in this movie I thought were okay or good. But after seeing this movie, with all the things they were able to do in it, all the characters they were able to portray, all the scenes they were able to do, made me look at all of them in a different light. For example, Bradley Cooper. I've always liked him, but I've never thought, oh my gosh, that's Bradley Cooper, he's a good actor. But after this movie, after playing a crazy man, it shows that he's got good range. Usually, you know, he does comedy, and in this, even though he is comical, he was actually serious in this. Same thing with Jennifer Lawrence. You know, for the longest time, I thought Jennifer Lawrence was good. You know, she was good in Winter's Bone, good in X-Men First Class, good in Hunger Games. But after this movie, I was like, wow, she can be funny and she can be serious. Same thing with Chris Tucker. You know, he's always been a comical guy, but in this, you know, he wasn't really dramatic. He was still comical. But I was like, okay, you know, I appreciate him more. I also appreciated the guy that played Bradley Cooper's brother, the guy that played, you know, the cop. Even the guy that played Bradley Cooper's friend that was married to Julia Stiles in the movie. I can't remember his name, but he usually plays like the creepy bad guy, henchman guy. He was in Fast and Furious, he was in Man on Fire, he was in Miami Vice. If you guys Googled him, you'd know who I'm talking about. But back to Jennifer Lawrence. Such a good job in this movie. You know, I loved how David O. Russell was able to take all of these actors and make them better, because this movie, like I said, was also dramatic as well as humorous. This movie was also romantic, but it was also a comedy. So all of these actors involved worked really well together. Like Amy Adams in The Fighter, you know, she's a good serious actor, but she's also shown to come off as sexy. Same thing with Jennifer Lawrence in this movie. And then you have Robert De Niro playing Pat Sr., probably the world's biggest Philadelphia Eagles fan. And, you know, he does his little Robert De Niro thing here and there, you know, where he gets all excited and he questions and he's like, what are you doing? You know, he kind of gets a little out of control, but I'm glad they didn't make his character one-dimensional, because there's, you know, the crazy, outrageous, angry side of Robert De Niro in this movie, but then there's also, you know, the sweet and compassionate side. So I really like that. And then you have, you know, the scene with Robert De Niro and Jennifer Lawrence. There's a scene where she pretty much tells him off, and the way that she does it is great. Not only was the acting good in this movie, but the soundtrack was really cool too. They played this one song with Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash in this scene where Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper are practicing this dance routine. And just the soundtrack really helps this movie, just like it helps The Fighter. Different movies. This movie and The Fighter are actually quite similar regarding the whole northeastern, you know, Philadelphia, Maine, Boston type environment. Also the, you know, the bickering amongst the family, which is at times, you know, kind of scary and over the top, but also there's other times where it's just comical, and you have the dramatic parts and you have the humor, and it all mixes well together. So I'm really glad David O. Russell was able to take all of these actors in this whole love story, dramatic scenario, and make it work well together. As far as this movie being nominated for an Oscar, yeah, I think it deserves it. Jennifer Lawrence being nominated for an Oscar as a leading actress, Yeah, this movie's unlike anything she's done before, and she was also dramatic. You know, she got angry and she got upset, but also there were times where she was actually funny and she didn't even mean to be. So she worked well in this movie. So from a rating of 1 to a 5, I'm going to give Silver Linings Playbook a 4. I'm glad I saw this movie, and whether you're a fan of Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, Robert De Niro, or the Philadelphia Eagles, I recommend this movie. So until next time, guys, see ya.